It is Sonny Gray on the mound for the Cardinals today. 4 pitching run value so far this year. The ERA up at 3.84. He's been better than that, but a couple of rough starts have ballooned that one up. A 1.18 whip. Really nice strikeout rate, very low walk rate. That's perfect pairing with this defense. Doesn't allow very many hard hit baseballs. Hasn't been great on the launch angles. The ground ball rate is pretty low, but Sonny Gray's been good, and he is the guy that the Cardinals signed up for when they got him. So here we go. It's going to be TJ Friedl at the top of the order for the Reds, and we are about to get underway. So Gavin Lux moves to DH for this one, with Stevenson playing catcher. And Santiago Espinal gets the start at third base, with a similar lineup apart from that for the Reds. Cardinals, on the other hand, do have Burleson in right field for this one, with Gorman as the DH. Basically the same lineup, but with Mason Wynn playing today. First pitch is in there for a strike, so we'll quickly bounce around the field. It is Pajes behind the plate, Nootbaar in left, Scott in center, Burleson in right, with Donovan at second, Wynn at short, Contreras at first, Arenado at third, and Gorman playing DH. The 0-1 pitch is in there for a strike with the changeup. 0-2 to start the game on TJ Friedl. Really nice pitch mix for Sonny Gray. Has the sinker, changeup, slider, all sorts of stuff. He is getting ready for the 0-2. Here it is. The 0-2 pitch to TJ Friedl. Swing and a miss. A sweeper in the dirt. That's the pitch I didn't mention. Also has a curveball and is able to get Friedl. So 1 out with nobody on, and that will bring up Gavin Lux. Lux is batting .270 with a 743 OPS on the year. And I can quickly grab the matchup history between him and Sonny Gray. First, let me fix this. There we go. Drops a changeup low and in, doesn't get the call. It's 1-0 on Lux. Lux has played in 68 games this year, has just 3 home runs. But he's been pretty good at the plate. Takes a 4-seam up and away. It's 2-0. The 2-0 pitch to Gavin Lux is inside 3-0. That was the curveball. And if we take a quick look at the history, Gavin Lux has been good against Sonny Gray in his career. He's walked twice, has a 1.434 OPS against Gray. And here's the 3-0 pitch. Right down the middle with the 4-seam. That's a strike. It's 3-1. On deck is Elly De La Cruz, the Reds shortstop. See if Sonny Gray can continue to find the zone. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Just upstairs with the fastball, and that is ball 4. So despite the very low walk rate for Gray so far, he does walk Lux that time. He has a pretty good defense behind him. It is the best defense the Cardinals could field outside of Burleson playing right field. You'd rather have Walker out there from a defensive perspective, but you got to get Burleson's bats in the lineup with how he's been hitting. And you don't want to bench Gorman either, so it makes sense. Here's the pitch to De La Cruz. Ground ball foul. It is 0-1. De La Cruz has been good against Gray as well. He is a career 4 for 8 against Gray with a home run and a 1.931 OPS, so that is very frightening. See if Gray can get one on the ground here. The 0-1 pitch to De La Cruz. Outside with the curveball, 1-1. De La Cruz with an 821 OPS so far this year. Already has 16 home runs and 50 runs driven in. Cardinals hoping to get a double play ball. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a curveball at the bottom of the zone. 1-2. So Gray is ahead of De La Cruz. A strikeout would work as well. Obviously, De La Cruz has stolen base potential, so if he reaches base in any sense, he could steal a base. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back on a sinker at the top of the zone. Still 1-2. De La Cruz is an above-average hitter with 2 strikes, hitting 185 in these spots, but his strikeout rate is way up at over 44%. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Got him with the sweeper right down the middle. Down goes De La Cruz. Probably thought that one was going to miss outside, but it dropped right back into the zone. Great pitch from Gray, his second strikeout of the game. So in the first inning, he has 2 strikeouts and a walk. No balls in play. Let's see if that changes with Tyler Stevenson. Stevenson hitting .763 in the OPS, .248 batting average. First pitch, in there for a strike. 0-1. Stevenson got the start at DH yesterday. They love having his bat in the lineup. An above-average OPS hitter. Nice right-handed bat. The 0-1 pitch from Sonny Gray. Missed up and away with the cutter. 1-1. If you look at Stevenson's history against Sonny Gray, he has not done too well. He's 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts. Here is the 1-1 pitch from Gray to Stevenson. Pulled over to third. Arenado is in the game today and makes the play. So we will go to the bottom of the first. Just a walk for Gray. No damage. Here come the Cardinals. They're going to be taking on Brent Suter, who made the move over to the Reds when we come back. So we can take a look at Suter's numbers. He does not give a lot of hard hits baseballs up. Also doesn't walk a lot of hitters. Just a 2.91 ERA, 1.12 whip. That's a really nice season. But the strikeout rate is really low. And let's see. Pretty high average expected batting average against. And not a lot of chase. So you'll be able to get your pitch to hit. You just have to find a good launch angle. And that has been rare against Suter. He's been effective for that reason. But at least he's not going to strike anyone out. So a lot of balls in play with the speed the Cardinals have. That should be helpful. I think that's the main thing to look for here. The fast runners getting on base. But also some of these hot hitters could just find a good launch angle and crush one. His barrel rate is at 7.3%, which is still a pretty low mark for a starter, but at least it is not up amongst the 90th percentile like his hard hit rate is. So that means some of these launch angles are favorable to the hitters, and he is a lefty, so could be helpful for a couple of the Cardinal bats. All right, game is back. Here we go. It will be Brendan Donovan leading off for the Cardinals. We go around the infield for the Reds. It is Steer at first, Espinal at third, De La Cruz at short, and McLean at second. So not too much of a change from yesterday with Benson in left, Friedel in center, Fraley in right, and Lux at DH with Stevenson behind the plate. Suter uses mostly four seams and changeups, mixes in the sinker a good amount as well, and has a slider. First pitch to Donovan is a fastball down the middle, popped up, playable at second base. And De La Cruz has to make the call and falls down trying to catch that one. Not their best catch of all time, but still caught the ball, so no difference on the game. That is out number one. Looked like McLean wanted it, and then De La Cruz had to cut him off. And snow coned that one a little bit. So 1 out, that's going to bring up Mason Wynn. Wynn is hitting .255 this year with a .705 OPS. He's been pretty good in that 2 spot in the order and has the platoon advantage against the lefty. First pitch is low and in. That's a ball. 1-0. That was a sinker that did end up catching the corner, but didn't get the call. So the 1-0 pitch to Wynn is a changeup at the bottom of the zone. That one got the call. 1-1. The 1-1 to Wynn is way up and away with the fastball. 2-1. Suter working really quickly in the early game. Wynn does have 6 home runs on the year. The 2-1 pitch, a swing and a miss at 87 at the top of the zone. 2-2. So absolutely no time between pitches here. He's working quickly. 2-2 pitch to Wynn. Up and away with the fastball. It's 3-2. So maybe they should settle down here and think about this one because it's a full count pitch to Wynn. Let's see if he can work an at-bat. 3-2. Outside, ball 4. So Mason Wynn with a very fast walk. 1 man on with 1 out, and that will bring up Alec Burleson. Burleson has been scorching hot recently, hitting .312 on the year with an .811 OPS. Most of his home runs this season have come within the last month. And he's been one of the best hitters in baseball since May 10th. First pitch. Low and away with the fastball. It's 1-0. Wynn on first. The 1-0 pitch to Burleson. Instead, they are going to check on Wynn. So that's the first disengagement. You really don't expect Wynn to try to steal against a lefty, but you never know. It's also strange that the Cardinals have 2 lefties in their first 3 hitters against a pitcher who is a lefty. As Suter drops a slider in there for a strike, it's 1-1 on Burleson. Burleson in his last 30 games has 12 extra base hits and a .985 OPS. The 1-1 pitch is a sinker away. It's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled back on a fastball at the top of the zone, 2-2. That was the pitch to hit for Burleson. He was upset at himself as he loves those pitches at the top of the zone. But he still has a good chance in this at-bat. It's 2-2. Mason Wynn on first with 1 out in the first. 2-2 pitch is driven the other way, but out of play, still 2-2. Reds playing Burleson to pull. They kind of have a trio up the middle of the infield with the runner being held on at first. And here's another check on Wynn. So that's 2 disengagements. Might even be giving the invite to steal to Mason Wynn by throwing the ball back to first. We'll see if the Cardinals take advantage. Here's the 2-2. Low and away with the sinker. It's 3-2 on Burleson. So here you might want to get a head start with Wynn, but only if he can get a good jump, as they have checked on him twice. And the count is full on Burleson. He could also just draw a walk. That would be big for the Cardinals here. The 3-2 pitch from Suter to Burleson. Inside, pulled in the air to right field, high and deep. And at the wall, gone into the bullpen. Burleson has a 2-run homer in the first. His 8th home run of the year, 29th RBI, 387 feet, just 99 miles an hour off the bat. I wasn't sure if it had the distance, but it is a warm day in St. Louis, and it's 2-0 Cardinals. This pitch was in on the hands, out of the zone. He was able to get the hands in on it, put the barrel on the ball, and let his strength do the rest of the work. Great job by Burleson. He gives the Cardinals the early lead. So with a 2-0 lead and 1 out, that will bring up Wilson Contreras. Contreras is hitting .249 this year with a .762 OPS. The first pitch is up and away with the fastball, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch, fastball at the bottom of the zone, 1-1. Contreras does have 10 homers on the year as he swings and misses at a fastball at the top of the zone. It's 1-2. Some good work by Suter here. Trying to lock back in the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A sinker at the top of the zone that time. Got under the bat of Contreras. 2 outs with nobody on, and that'll bring up Arenado. Arenado in his last 14 games is 18 for 52 for a .346 average and a .920 OPS. First pitch pulled to third. Nice play by Espinal, and we'll go to the second inning, but not before Burleson pulls one into the Cardinal bullpen. Cardinals lead 2-0. All right. It's going to be Steer, Benson, and Espinal. See if we can get a good random word today. Musical. We've already talked about music. Lecture. I don't know about that. Steer has not been great this year, just a .631 OPS. He'll be due up first. Not a lot of good contact. Doesn't chase, but just the launch angle is in his favor, so if I were him, I'd probably just try to swing harder. See if a higher bat speed can help you out. All right, it'll be back in just a moment. And here we go. First pitch from Gray to Steer. Smoked right back at the mound off of Gray. It's going to be a charging play by Donovan. He's going to miss the throw. It's going to head into the bullpen, and Steer is going to be given second base on an error. So Donovan tries to make a hustle play, ends up missing, and there's an error. Steer is going to be on second base with nobody out. Would have been a tough play regardless, but it's tough when the throw just misses Contreras, who is trying to stretch forward, and he gets an extra base out of it. All right, here's the pitch to Benson. Ground ball, right-hand side. Donovan will make this play, but the runner will move over to third. So 1 out with a runner on third. Will Benson grounds out. That's going to bring up Santiago Espinal. It's going to be a big at-bat. We'll see if Gray can strand this runner at third. The first pitch to Espinal. Curveball, ground ball over to third. Arenado checks on the runner, goes to first, and there's 2 outs with just no damage so far. So just the runner on third. Great play by Arenado to charge over and make that play, make sure the runner is returned to the third base bag, and get the out at first. That was perfectly done by Arenado. And that will bring up Jake Fraley with a chance to get out of this with no damage and make up for his team's error. Here is the pitch to Fraley. In the dirt, 1-0. It's been some great pitching so far from Sonny Gray. Guess they did give Steer a hit for that ball back at Gray, but just advanced to second on the error. Here's the 1-0. Popped up foul, 1-1. I don't know for sure that it would have been a hit if Donovan made a good throw, but it is what it is. Would have been a tough play regardless. Here's the 2-0 to Jake Fraley with a man on third and 2 outs in the second. Curveball pulled foul. 2-1. Okay, it's 1-2. That's what I thought. I just trust the graphic more than my own instincts because he fouled one off earlier. So yeah, 1-2 on Fraley with 2 down in the second. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Gray. Curveball fouled off his foot, still 1-2. So Gray has done some great work so far. We'll see if he can close out this inning with a good pitch here. Already has 2 strikeouts on the day. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Jake Fraley. Puts the sweeper in the dirt, but doesn't quite get the chase. Fraley was able to hold back. It's 3-2. On deck is Matt McLain, the second baseman for the Reds. It's going to be the 25th pitch of the day for Gray. 2-0 Cardinals. The 3-2 pitch to Fraley with a man on third. Outside with the curveball, and that is ball 3. Was I missing something? I guess the count was wrong this whole time, but whatever. Okay. Now it's a 3-2 pitch to Fraley from Sonny Gray. Swing and a miss on a curveball in the dirt. Down goes Fraley, and we go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 St. Louis. Great work by Gray. I hate when the graphic has the wrong count because it just... I should have just kept track of it myself because, I mean, the umpire clearly knew the count. The players knew the count. But I guess they missed that one and they just decided to get rid of it instead of switching it to a strike, and that's what made it confusing. But either way, here we go. It is 2-0 Cardinals. Who's due up? It's going to be Gorman, Nootbaar, Pajes. So we'll go to Gorman. So Gorman's walk rate way up. The best of his career so far, I believe. Yes, it is. See how the rest of these guys have done against Suter. I believe Gorman and Arenado have been good, but also Victor Scott. So we'll keep that in mind for this upcoming inning. As the game is back. Here we go. First pitch to Gorman in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Second pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball at the top of the zone, 0-2. So Suter goes really quickly. Before I could even say anything, he's thrown 2 strikes to Gorman. Gorman has been good against him in the past. But this could be different. The 0-2 pitch, fastball, caught the outside corner, didn't get the call. It's 1-2. So that's unfortunate for Suter. Gorman is a career 1 for 5 with a homer against him. As he chases a slider in the dirt, down goes Gorman for out number 1. So 1 out, nobody on. That is the second strikeout of the day for Suter. That'll bring up Lars Nootbaar. Nootbaar is a career 143 hitter. He's 1 for 7 against Suter. As the first pitch slider misses outside, it's 1-0. Second pitch to Nootbaar, fouled back. A fastball up and in that time. 1-1. Nootbaar starting to heat back up after a rough couple of weeks. Here's the 1-1 from Suter. Fastball just outside, 2-1. Nootbaar does have a 1. OPS in the last 5 games as he drives one the other way for a base hit. Nootbaar seems to be back. He's on first. The Newts are probably crying out through the stadium. So 1 man on with 1 out, and that will bring up Pedro Pajes. Which is a fastball inside. He used an inside-out swing, hit it hard to the left side, and that became a base hit. But something weird's going on with his neck right now, and the trainer is out to look at Nootbaar. He is pressing his ear down and rubbing his shoulders. So we're trying to figure out whether it's the neck or the shoulder. At least that's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, what is happening? I'm sure they have Jordan Walker available, if need be. Walker already has a helmet on, just in case. Looks like Nootbaar is going to stay in the game, and Pajes will take this at bat. Here's the first pitch. Outside with the sinker, 1-0. So that's a big bullet dodge. The Nootbaar is okay. Great news for the Cardinals. He's on first with 1 out. Here's the 1-0 pitch now from Suter to Pajes. Swing and a miss on a changeup up and away, 1-1. Pajes hitting .223 this year with a .627 OPS. The 1-1 pitch from Suter. Swing and a miss again, another changeup. Pajes having trouble seeing that coming out of the lefty's sidearm hands. Or probably more of a 3/4, but it's a tough angle for a righty to see the ball on a changeup. So with 1 on and 1 out in the second, Pajes is digging back in after his timeout. The 1-2 pitch. Goes down and squibs this one over to short. This should be a double play, and it is. The Reds have a quick turn. We go to the third. It is 2-0 St. Louis. It's going to be McLean due up first. We see here, let's see. McLean, Friedel. So it's really just been Lux, De La Cruz, Steer, and Fraley who have done well. And Gray's been able to get those guys today, so there's nothing to truly worry about necessarily. McLean walks a lot. Also has a good launch angle. To only have a 200 batting average with a good launch angle is kind of crazy. It's because he's not hitting the ball very hard. See if we can get a random word here. Vigorous. Wow, that's a good one. Also kind of describes the Cardinals' approach. All right, the game is back. Sonny Gray returns to the mound. It is 2-0 St. Louis in the top of the third. The first pitch to Matt McLean, the Reds' 9 hitter, is a strike on a cutter up and away. It's 0-1. McLean hitting 200 this year with a 623 OPS, does have 8 home runs, and is a huge threat to steal bases when he reaches. The 0-1 pitch from Gray. Low and away, broken bat, base hit. The launch angle comes out on that one. Nice piece of hitting from McLean. He'll reach base, 1 man on with nobody out. And that will bring up TJ Friedl. So the bat shattered as that one hit just off the end of it, but just lofted over the head of Donovan. No play for him. So with 1 on and nobody out, that will bring up the top of the order with TJ Friedl. Friedl has not had much success against Gray. Here's the first pitch from Gray to Friedl with a man on. Right down the middle, popped up. Looks playable in left field. Nootbaar on the run. It is not playable. It's going to get into the seats. 0-1. So McLean, a big threat to steal a bag, is on first. He has a single. With nobody out in the third, trying to hang on to a 2-0 lead are the Cardinals. Here's the 30th pitch for Gray. Missed outside with the curveball, 1-1. Friedl is 0 for 1 today, does have a strikeout. That was back in the first. Gray is ready. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Friedl. Missed up and away with the changeup, 2-1. Cardinals definitely playing Friedl to pull. Donovan is way over on that right side of the infield. The 2-1 pitch. He's upstairs with the fastball, 3-1. So we'll see if Gray can find the zone here. This is a tough spot. The 3-1 pitch now to TJ Friedl. Right down the middle, ground ball up the middle for a base hit. Scott is going to range over and play that one, but McLean will easily go first to third, and there's 2 men on, runners at the corners with nobody out in the third. So McLean and Friedl both get their first hits of their career against Sonny Gray. That's going to bring up Gavin Lux, who walked his first time up. In this spot, you almost have to just allow McLean to score and just hope to get a couple of outs here. And just strand the runner from first and maintain the lead in the ball game. First pitch from Gray to Lux. Right down the middle, back to the mound, off of Gray's glove. It's going to be a double play ball. Great play by Mason Wynn. And the run does come in to score. So both teams will take that trade, I believe. As McLean comes in to score, at least the Cardinals will take that trade. Maybe the Reds are a little unhappy about that play. But it is 2-1 Cardinals now, as McLean did score. No RBI for Lux on the double play. And with 2 outs, that will bring up Elly De La Cruz. De La Cruz is 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far today. Here's the first pitch from Gray to De La Cruz. Right down the middle, driven high in the air to right field. It's going to get past Victor Scott in the gap. Off the wall, it's going to be extra bases. He's going to try to turn it into 3. And he will, and the ball skips away. He's going to try to go to the plate. Gray makes a throw to the plate, and he is out. The tag is applied by Pajes, and a triple turns into an out for the Reds. Sonny Gray with a great play in the field to prevent the run, and we go to the bottom of the third. It's 2-1, St. Louis. What a play. Sonny Gray backing up the throw as a pitcher has to. Even with the ricochet, he was able to get over. Bad decision by the third base coach of the Reds. Prevents a triple from mattering for Elly De La Cruz. He smacked it into the gap. But just great play in the field by Gray. And that's what prevented the run from scoring. Cardinals don't let something like that happen. Can't have an inside the Parker against this defense, so they should not have tried it. It's going to bring up Victor Scott. What an incredible play, like truly. Showed Elly De La Cruz's speed. He was flying around the bases. All right, the game is back. Let's watch Sonny Gray on this play. He scoots over there. Mason Wynn tries to make the relay throw to third. It skips off the glove of Arenado. And De La Cruz tries to fly out there, but great play from Sonny Gray to back up the play and make the throw to the plate. So that is what ended the top half of the third. It's going to be Victor Scott due up first, as the Reds lead 1-0. And Nick Martinez comes into the game. So Suter with only a spot start there. I'll quickly grab Nick Martinez's stats, as he'll probably be in for a little while. He has been pretty bad this year. Here's the first pitch to Victor Scott. He bunts one down the first base line. This is a beautiful bunt. Martinez with a glove flip makes the play. What a play by Nick Martinez in the field. Back-to-back great plays by pitchers fielding their position. Victor Scott with a perfect bunt down the first base line. The only way to get him was a glove flip from the pitcher, and he was able to do it. So 1 out, that'll bring up Brendan Donovan. As Martinez takes a breather. He is really happy about that play. Martinez has a very low walk rate. Also keeps the contact pretty soft, but doesn't strike out very many hitters. And that contact is usually at a good launch angle for the hitter. So hasn't gone well for Martinez so far this year. 4.54 ERA. Here's the first pitch to Brendan Donovan from Martinez. Missed upstairs with the cutter. It's 1-0. Donovan is 0 for 1 with a pop out back in the first. Hitting .312 on the year. The 1-0 pitch is a curveball at the bottom of the zone, fouled back. 1-1. Donovan is a career 3 for 6 with a home run against Martinez. It's a very threatening line. Here's the 1-1 from Martinez. Curveball smoked to the right field side, foul. 1-2. That one was hard hit by Donovan, just barely fouled it off. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Martinez. Outside, rolled over by Donovan. Easy play at second for McLean, and that's out number 2. So that's going to bring up Mason Wynn. Wynn is yet to have an at-bat today. He has a walk and a run scored in his first plate appearance. First pitch from Martinez. Right down the middle with the slider. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Low and away, popped up, playable in right field for Fraley. He'll make the grab and we'll go to the fourth. It's 2-1 Cardinals. Great defense from Nick Martinez. So there are those Martinez numbers. You can also grab his history against this lineup. As Suter is already done. Martinez, he's struggled against Donovan. He's also struggled against Contreras, Gorman, Pajes. So that's good news for the Cardinals. It's going to be Stevenson due up for the Reds. No. There we go. He hits the ball pretty dang hard and with a good launch angle. How does this happen? 763 OPS. He walks a lot. Great launch angle. Hits the ball hard. Good barrel rate. And his batting average is his expected batting average is just 225. So I just don't get that. Strikes out a lot. This probably doesn't help. Oh, that is exactly why. It's because he strikes out. Okay. So here is Tyler Stevenson. Based on his Savant page, the main problem for him is he strikes out too much. When he makes contact, it's usually good contact. Also walks a lot. Here's the first pitch from Gray. Outside 1-0. Oh, he gets the call. That one was a couple inches outside the zone. But it is 0-1 on Tyler Stevenson. Stevenson is 0 for 1 so far today. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Outside with the cutter, 1-1. He had a ground out back in the first. Cardinals still trying to protect a 2-1 lead in this ball game. The 1-1 pitch is right down the middle with the sinker, 1-2. Sonny Gray at 38 pitches so far in this ball game. The 1-2 pitch to Stevenson. Popped up. Playable on the right side for Donovan or Contreras. Donovan makes the call and the grab. So 1 out with nobody on, and that will bring up Spencer Steer. It is the top of the 4th with 1 out. Sonny Gray is at just 39 pitches. Steer is 1 for 1 today. Has a 229 average on the year. First pitch from Gray. In there for a strike with the curveball, it's 0-1. The 1-1 from Gray. Misses upstairs with the fastball, it's 1-1. Sorry, that was the 0-1. Unless I missed a pitch. Okay, whatever. The 1-1 pitch to Steer. Misses low and away with the cutter. 2-1. I'm not sure if it's 2-1 or 3-1. Because the count guy doesn't always get it right. But I think it is 2-1. Here is the pitch to Spencer Steer. Upstairs, and that's a ball. 3-1 now on Steer. So 1 out, nobody on. 3-1 count on Steer. Cardinals lead this one 2-1. Sonny Gray trying to find the zone against the guy who has a hit already in the game. The 3-1 pitch. Hit high in the air to left field. Playable for Nootbaar, who will make the grab. 2 outs. And that will bring up Will Benson. Benson attacked the first pitch his last time up, and it turned into an out. He is 0 for 1. First pitch in his second at-bat is in there at the top of the zone, 0-1. Benson grounded out his last time up, playing left field. The 0-1 pitch, just outside with the curveball, 1-1. So Sonny Gray has settled in pretty well. Has given up 4 hits in the game. And also has a walk. The 1-1 pitch to Benson. Change up below the zone there, 2-1. Benson does have 6 home runs on the year, a 737 OPS. The 2-1 pitch from Gray. Just outside with the curveball, 3-1. So Gray not finding the zone as consistently as he normally does. But we'll see if he can just find it here. Try to finish off Benson. The 3-1 pitch is just high with the fastball, and that is ball 4. So Benson walks. Second walk of the day allowed by Gray. And that will bring up Santiago Espinal, who is 0 for 1 so far. Espinal is a career 0 for 2 against Sonny Gray. Has walked twice against him, though. Here is the first pitch in the fourth. Outside 1-0. That was the first pitch to Espinal in the fourth. Espinal's been good against the Cardinals in his career. He is 6 for 12 against the team. Does have 3 strikeouts. Cardinals are playing him to pull. The 1-0 pitch from Gray to Espinal. Caught the outside corner with the fastball, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch now to Espinal is outside with the curveball, 2-1 now. So Gray really laboring in this fourth inning with 2 outs. Still yet to allow very much in the game and protecting the lead just fine, but more and more pitches this inning are building up. The 2-1 pitch now to Espinal. Outside fouled back, 2-2. That one was just the fastball. Espinal does not have a home run this year, but he does have a .250 batting average as Gray checks on the runner. They almost picked him off, but he was safe. Benson did get back safely there. Got the hand in just before the tag. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Espinal from Gray. Low and away, fouled off. So a really good at-bat by Espinal. A lot of foul balls, a lot of pitches for Gray. Pitch 55 of the game now. The 2-2 pitch. In the dirt with the sweeper, 3-2. This inning feels like it's taking forever due to long at-bat after long at-bat. This is the stuff you don't like to see if you're a Cardinals fan, as Gray might not be able to go too deep in this one. Although 55 pitches through 4 innings isn't unusual. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Espinal. Swing and a miss on a sinker outside. Down goes Espinal. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. It is 2-1 St. Louis. Sonny Gray settles back in. So we'll finally get to see Alec Burleson go to the plate. Let's see the history between him and Martinez. Let's see. Okay, 0 for 2. Contreras has a good history, though. And so does Gorman. So a couple of good hitters coming up this inning. Hopefully they leave Martinez in the game. And I'll be right back. All right. So Burleson against Martinez. That one, we don't have much of a sample there, but Contreras has been good against Martinez. So has Gorman. Uh-oh, what did I just do? Okay, there we go. Burleson homered his last time up. He's been great against lefties. But the right-hander goes outside there. It's 0-1. Fastball caught the outside corner. Nobody on, nobody out. It's the fourth inning. The Cardinals lead 2-1. The 0-1 pitch from Martinez is outside with the changeup, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Martinez misses low. Burleson actually pulled back a bunt attempt there. It's 2-1. Martinez goes again, the 2-1. Rolled over. Easy play for Ellie at short. And he'll miss the throw. And Burleson is out. Steer made a diving catch there, and I believe he stayed on the bag. So let's see here. A bad throw. Steer did keep his foot on the bag. So Burleson out on an unorthodox play by the Reds, but they get him either way. Great play by Spencer Steer. And there's one out with nobody on. That'll bring up Wilson Contreras. Contreras a career 3 for 5 with a home run against Nick Martinez. Takes ball 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch now from Martinez to Contreras. Swing and a drive into left field, but didn't get all of that one. It is catchable and caught in left field by Benson. So that was a good swing from Contreras, but just missed that one. Got under it a little bit. A little bit of wind blowing in St. Louis today. So 2 outs. Nobody on here in the fourth. Arenado at the plate with a 2-1 lead. Takes a sinker below the zone. It's 1-0. Arenado grounded out his first time up. He's been heating up a little bit recently. The 1-0 pitch now from Martinez. Missed upstairs with the sinker. It's 2-0. Martinez is set. The 2-0 pitch to Arenado is in the dirt with the cutter. 3-0 now. So Arenado way ahead in the count. Nolan Gorman is on deck. Here's the 3-0 from Martinez. Right down the middle. Swung on and fouled off by Arenado. So 3-1. Deciding to swing 3-0. That's a bold move, but with 2 outs, I support it. You could steal a homer. Arenado does have 350 home runs in 1750 games. And De La Cruz is vomiting over at shortstop. So that is rough. He was sprinting all the way around the bases. So the trainers are out to talk with De La Cruz. It's unorthodox. You don't see this every day. So the count is 3-1 on Arenado. I believe, De La Cruz, it was just because he's sprinting in really warm weather. Didn't get enough water between innings. It's pretty obvious why this is happening. Pretty long inning. After having to sprint around the bases. Might need a day off. We'll see what happens here. De La Cruz is up. I would just want some water. Did they just get him some water? I would not leave the man in the game, but there are 2 outs. They're bringing out a crew to clean up the vomit here. So that's always fun. Little scoop there. Fix up the infield dirt. So that's part of the job, I guess, for the grounds crew. Gorman is a career 2 for 4 with a home run against Nick Martinez. 1850 OPS, so he's a guy to watch out for later. Same thing with Pajes. He is 1 for 2 with a 1.5 OPS. So with De La Cruz's vomit now cleaned up, here's the 3-1 pitch to Arenado. Driven the other way, but caught in right field by Fraley. That was a really nice swing by Arenado. Could have been extra bases the other way, but he hit it right at Fraley. So that was unfortunate. We go to the 5th. It's 2-1 Cardinals. So there's some of these past stats against Martinez. But we will go to Jake Fraley. Very strange inning there. I've never seen... Well, I think I have, but I haven't seen it recently. It's been a long time. And having the grounds crew come out and clean up the vomit was absolutely hilarious. Putting the dirt over it. Raking it out, making sure everything's good. Fraley walks a lot, doesn't strike out much. But the average exit velocity is very low. That's why his OPS is at 717. The Reds are a good ballpark for him as well. All right, the game is back. First pitch from Gray to Fraley in the 5th inning. Pulled foul. It's 0-1. Sonny Gray at 56 pitches in the game. It is the 5th. Cardinals lead 2-1. It is Fraley, McLean, and Friedel due up this inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Fraley. It is in the dirt with the changeup, 1-1. Looks like the Cubs are going to win against Seattle. It's 9-1 over there in Chicago. So a victory just helping out against the Reds today. The 1-1. Just outside with the curveball, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch now to Jake Fraley. Fouled off at the top of the zone. It's 2-2. Sonny Gray against Fraley has not done super well. Fraley came into this game 3 for 5 against Gray with a 1.314 OPS. but he struck him out the first time up. See if Gray can get him again. 2-2 pitch now to Fraley. Got the call on a curveball low and away. Down goes Fraley. Second strikeout of the game. And that's one out in the fifth. Great frame job by Pajes, and Fraley was incredibly unhappy with the umpire after that one. So Gray has 5 strikeouts, 2 of them on Fraley. And that's going to bring up Matt McLean, who's 1 for 1. Here's the first pitch to him. Missed just downstairs with the sinker. It's 1-0. McLean, a speedy second baseman. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Gray. Got the call on a fastball up and away, 1-1. There's been some incredibly inconsistent umpiring in this game. You just have to roll with it. The 1-1 pitch now from Gray. Missed down and away, 2-1. Might be CB Buckner behind the plate. It looks like it might be him. Cardinals haven't had a good history with him, but that's okay. The 2-1. Right down the middle, driven into the gap in left center. But cut off by Victor Scott. Great job by him to get the ball in. Either way, it is still going to be extra bases for a speedy guy like McLean. He has a double with 1 out. So even though it was cut off, it was deep enough that McLean was able to get that extra base. That was just a fastball right down the middle. You can't throw a worse pitch than that to McLean. Big miss for Gray, the first one that really stands out to me in the game. So with McLean on second and 1 out, that brings up TJ Friedel, who is 1 for 2. Does have a strikeout in this one. Here's the first pitch. Low and in with the sinker, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Gray. In the dirt with the curveball, 2-0. A walk wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Gavin Lux has already grounded into a double play today. But you'd love to get Friedel if you can. The 2-0 pitch from Gray. Low and in with the fastball. Looks like it hit him. And so that will put Friedel on first. Hit him in the shin. Doesn't look comfortable, but he seems to be okay. So runners at first and second with 1 out in the fifth. That will bring up Gavin Lux. Yeah, right on that shin and knee. Maybe the ligament right there. Right where the shin connects to the knee. So Pedro Pajes having a quick discussion with Sonny Gray. Gray was great in the field earlier. After the De La Cruz triple, the ball skipped away from Arenado. De La Cruz tried to score, but Gray was backing it up. Made a great throw to the plate. And that is why the Cardinals still have the lead right now. So with 2 men on and 1 out, Gray gets ready to throw his 69th pitch of the game, the first to Gavin Lux. Gavin Lux is 0 for 1 with a walk in the game today. Does have a double play as well. First pitch. He is outside with the curveball, 1-0. Gray has not quite been consistent in the game today. But he could get out of this with just 1 good pitch. The 1-0 pitch now to Gavin Lux. Up and away with the fastball, 2-0. The last thing you want to do is walk Lux and load the bases for De La Cruz. But we do know De La Cruz might be feeling a little sick. The 2-0 pitch from Gray. Up and away, fouled back, 2-1. As a cloud covers the sun for a second, darkening the stadium a little bit. And the sun is right back out. So 1 out, 2 men on. The 2-1 pitch from Gray to Lux. Here's the delivery. In the dirt, 3-1. Gray only threw 16, 10, and 9 pitches in the first 3 innings. He's thrown 21 and 16 since, and he's only recorded 1 out in these 16 pitches in the 5th. Here's the 3-1 deluxe. Inside, pulled high in the air to right field. Burleson is out there, makes the catch. And that will advance the runner to third. There's runners at first and third with 2 outs in the 5th. So McLean on third, Friedel on first. That will bring up Ellie De La Cruz. He has a triple in the game today. He is 1 for 2 with a strikeout as well. This year he does have 3 home runs with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, but hitting just 4 for 29 in these spots. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a sweeper low and in. That's strike 1 on Ellie. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Gray to De La Cruz with runners at the corners. Same exact spot with the sweeper. That one's taken by Ellie. It's 1-1. Looking for some perseverance from Sonny Gray. He's at pitch 76 in the game now. The 1-1. Inside again, 2-1. You might want to think about taking Gray out early in this one. He's starting to really struggle to find the zone, and you have a lead to protect. So let him face Ellie, let him finish this 5th inning, and then hopefully that will be it. The 2-1 pitch to Ellie De La Cruz. Right down the middle with the curveball. That's a strike. It's 2-2. Ellie is a career 5 for 10 against Sonny Gray, and in his career does have a home run, but he also has 5 strikeouts. So every single time he's gotten out against against Sonny Gray, it's been a strikeout. The 2-2 pitch. Sweeper in the dirt, 3-2. So full count. Friedel will be on the move here. He'll have a head start. Hopefully Gray can get De La Cruz. The 3-2 pitch here in the 5th. Goes low and in. Ground ball. Diving stop by Donovan, and he makes the play. Great play by Brendan Donovan, holding the score at 2-1. And a good 5 innings from Gray. 5 innings pitched, just 1 earned run. Great job by Donovan. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, 2-1 Cardinals. Holy smokes. So Gray should probably be done. Very inconsistent, but what a job by the defense. Including Gray himself on defense. It's going to be Gorman. Hopefully he gets to face Martinez. See if I can grab that. So here's Gorman's numbers on the year. Not great. 697 OPS. Trying to get that barrel rate back up. He is above average. But Nick Martinez against Gorman. 2 for 4 with a homer. Also has a walk. The best hitter in the lineup against Martinez was Contreras prior to his last at-bat, so it's going to be Gorman now. Alrighty. So they're going to go to a new pitcher, an Ian Gibaut, so that Martinez doesn't have to face Gorman. So that's a really smart strategy. We'll grab Ian's numbers real fast. 1.29 whip, 4.57 ERA. Doesn't walk very many hitters. Gives up very light contact. But he doesn't strike out very many either, and the hits are usually pretty good launch angles. So once again, soft contact and low walk rate. Here's the 1-0 to Gorman. Outside 2-0. But when people make contact, if they get it into the air and hit it hard, it could be a problem for the pitcher. So you could pretty much kill a guy like this with singles, is what I'm trying to say. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Gorman. Upstairs. No, he did not. 3-0. So Gorman way ahead in the count now, with Lars Nootbaar on deck. Nobody on, nobody out in the fifth. Cardinals lead 2-1. The 3-0 pitch from Ian Gibaut. Swing and a miss on a fastball right down the middle. 3-1. He does have a very low walk rate, but Gorman does have the count advantage here. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Gibaut. Fouled off on a fastball at the bottom of the zone. 3-2. Good swing from Gorman there. Was just late on that. Gorman's ready. The 3-2 pitch from Ian Gibaut. Outside, ball 4. So Gorman draws a walk. 1 man on with nobody out. That's going to bring up Lars Nootbaar. Nootbaar is 1 for 1 in the game today. And he gets to hit with a man on and nobody out. Right here, you just got to be looking for something to hit. Gibaut seems to have found his rhythm. So look for one at the bottom of the zone here. The first pitch to Nootbaar. Upstairs with the sweeper. 1-0. Seems to only be locating the fastball very well. So you just look dead red at the bottom of the zone here, if you're going to swing at all. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Gibaut to Nootbaar. Fastball up and away. Perfect pitch from Gibaut. It's 1-1. Can't blame Nootbaar for taking that one. Wasn't the one he was looking for. Here is the 1-1 pitch now from Gibaut to Lars Nootbaar. Swing and a miss on a sweeper low and in. 1-2. Infield doing that 3 corners thing again, with the third baseman playing where shortstop usually does. De La Cruz up the middle and second base playing him to pull. The 1-2 pitch to Nootbaar. Instead they check on Gorman. That's just a disengagement. I don't think they were really trying to pick him off. Nootbaar is ready to go. The 1-2 pitch with a man on first and nobody out. Outside 2-2. That was the fastball. Your Nootbaar here, you got to be hunting that fastball. As the sweeper will probably drop out of the zone anyway. 2-2 pitch from Jabot to Nootbaar. Sweeper low and in. It was out of the zone. It's 3-2. So back-to-back full counts by Cardinal hitters. Gorman drew a walk on his 6 pitches. Here's the 6th pitch of the at-bat to Lars Nootbaar, the 3-2 pitch with Gorman on first. Outside ball 4, so Jabot does the same thing to back-to-back lefties. Works a full count and walks them. And now with 2 men on and nobody out, that's going to bring up Pedro Pajes, who might want to think about bunting here. We have a mound meeting. And the pitching coach coming out to talk to Jabot. I'm going to double check how you pronounce this name while they have this meeting. Yeah, it's Jabot. Perfect. All right, so Pedro Pajes at the plate. He's 0 for 1 in the game today. Yet to strike out in this one. Maybe he'll be able to move the runners over. Does square around, pulls it back, and they do a back pick, and out is Gorman. Gorman tried to get a head start. He's done this before already this year. Got back picked at third base in a recent game. And he got picked off at second base there as Pajes was thinking about bunting. Now he won't be bunting. 1 man on with 1 out. Nootbaar on first. Here's the 0-1 to Pajes. Right down the middle, popped up foul. It's 0-2. So the Cardinals have a bunt on, and Pajes takes a pitch that was in the zone by pulling back his bunt attempt, which is already a mistake as far as if you're given the instruction to bunt, don't take a pitch in the zone. And Gorman tries to get too far off the bag before the play begins. I blame Pajes more than Gorman there because you have to get the bunt on the ground or at least attempt it if it's in the zone. Jabot checks on Nootbaar there. But Gorman just can't allow himself to get back picked on a pitch that was not put in play. It's happened twice now. So 1 out, 1 man on. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Jabot to Pajes. They're going to check on Nootbaar again. That's 2 disengagements. So Nootbaar might be able to steal a base now. Nootbaar's reached base in both of his plate appearances. And having been attempted at twice now, we'll see if Nootbaar starts running. The 0-2 pitch to Pajes. It is not a stolen base attempt. That one, a sweeper in the dirt. 1-2. Nootbaar definitely would have been able to steal that base if he tried it, given the location of that pitch, but that's okay. Here's the 1-2 with Pajes at the plate. Fouled off the other way. Still 1-2. Pajes did ground into a double play earlier in this one. Now would be a good time to send Nootbaar. We'll see if the Cardinals are thinking the same thing. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Pajes. Way upstairs with the fastball, 2-2. They are holding Nootbaar on at first, but they've already tried 2 pickoff attempts. Here's the 2-2 pitch now to Pajes. Fouled off. That was a cutter right down the middle. Good at bat from Pajes. Nootbaar still hasn't attempted to steal. But I think you almost have to. With Victor Scott on deck. 1 out, Nootbaar on first. Cardinals lead 2-1. The 2-2 pitch to Pedro Pajes. He's way up and in, and it's 3-2. So here you could have a strike him out, throw him out. You could draw a walk. I think you kind of wasted your best opportunity to steal with Nootbaar now, so might be okay to just not attempt the steal. Because a strike him out, throw him out is something that happens a lot, because it's going to be a pitch in the zone if he strikes out. So I would just allow Pajes to do his thing now. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Jabot. Upstairs, and that is ball 4. Nootbaar was going to steal on that pitch. I don't necessarily agree with that philosophy, but worked out for the Cardinals either way. It was going to be a walk, so it worked no matter which way you decided. Here comes Victor Scott. Victor Scott is 0 for 1 in the ball game today, but there are 2 men on with just 1 out. And that out was recorded by the Reds defense, not by Jabot. First pitch to Scott. Up and away, doesn't get the call, it's 1-0. Reds playing Scott to pull. Looks like he could bunt for a hit here. We'll see if he thinks about it. The 1-0 pitch. Driven up the middle, caught by De La Cruz. He's going to step on the bag and pick Nootbaar. Nothing Nootbaar could have done. And we go to the 6th. It's 2-1 St. Louis. A frustrating line out for Scott. Nothing you can do. So 2 players got back picked at second base there. One of them on a pickoff, the other one on a caught line drive. Tough for the Cardinals. Nothing bad from the hitting perspective, just bad from the base running perspective. So it'll be Donovan due up in the 6th, but first we have the Reds. So Stevenson. I think we might go to a new pitcher, so I'll pull up Stevenson's numbers and I will check out the Cardinal bullpen. So how are we looking? So yesterday, still a lot of bullpen usage recently. It'd be tough to take Gray out of the game at this point, but he just hasn't looked consistent. You still have Matz, Leahy, Helsley available for today. Granillo as well. What do they mean win and a save? They gave Granillo the win and the save on Thursday? That's incredible. All right, so Matz, Leahy, Helsley, that's good, but that's only worth 4 innings, which you could stretch it out right now, but that's interesting. I wonder who they're going to go to. Cardinals bullpen last night was good. 3 innings, just 1 run allowed. Tried to get the job done without letting the Reds back in the game. It is going to be Steven Matz here, so I like that. Matz can go multiple innings. That is the 2 guy. You go Matz for 2. And then you have Leahy and Helsley at the back end. I completely agree with Marmol here. So Steven Matz getting his shot. We'll go ahead and pull this. He's been great this year. Just a quick look there. 1.06 whip, 2.66 ERA. Very low walk rate, the best in baseball. And great, it froze. Okay, so I'm going to miss a couple pitches. Let's see. Swing and a miss on a sinker in the zone. It's 0-2 on Stevenson. So my apologies on those two pitches. Sometimes the internet doesn't help you out, but here we go. Steven Matz, he's thrown two pitches. It's 0-2 on Stevenson. You can't ask for anything better than that. Stevenson is 0 for 2 today, the 0-2 pitch. Upstairs, 1-2. Stevenson has a ground out and a pop out in this game. Matz has the lowest walk rate in baseball, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup outside. Down goes Stevenson. That's out number 1. And that will bring up Spencer Steer. Great pitch from Matz. The only thing Matz isn't doing well this year is avoiding hard hit baseballs. A lot of his baseballs have been hit hard. But he's been good. As here's a ground ball back to the mound. Matz flips it to first, and Steer goes down on one pitch. So that's going to bring up Will Benson with 2 outs and nobody on in the 6th. And Matz is in prime position to go for multiple innings here. First pitch to Benson. He is low and away with the curveball, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch from Matz is just low with the sinker, 2-0. Benson is 0 for 1, does have a walk in the game today. See if Matz can get it back in the zone. He does not. Misses outside with the sinker. It's 3-0. So this could be a rare walk from Steven Matz. The 3-0 pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. It's 3-1. Santiago Espinal is on deck. The 3-1 pitch. That was in there for a strike. Didn't get the call from Buckner. And that's ball 4. So Benson on first with nobody. Sorry, with 2 outs. That's going to bring up Santiago Espinal. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout in the game today. The first pitch is outside to him. It's 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Caught the bottom of the zone with the changeup. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 to Espinal. Up and in, fouled off, 1-2. Great job by Matz, getting back in the zone. Getting ahead in the count. The Reds have 1 run on 5 hits. The Cardinals have 2 runs on 2 hits. Also have an error today. The 1-2 from Steven Matz. Up and away with the sinker. 2-2. 15th pitch of the inning from Matz. The 2-2 pitch to Espinal. Popped up. Playable on the right side for Contreras. He'll make the catch, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. It is 2-1 St. Louis. We go to the top of the order. Donovan, Wynn, Burleson. So I will take a quick look at the Reds bullpen. Okay, Jabot is a middle reliever. They used a lot of these guys yesterday, so they already used Suter. I mean, Richardson, it's a close game. Probably don't go to Pagan. They might just stick with Jabot. I don't know what else they would do. Oh, jeez, why does this keep happening? Alrighty. So the umpires needed a little bit of water. Brendan Donovan will be stepping in now. And that is Lyon Richardson. So they do go to their AAA arm. Oh, sorry, wrong guy. They go to their long reliever, which makes sense. Trying to eat up a few innings here. First pitch missed low on Donovan. But I guess he must have chased it. It's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch from Richardson. He is low and in. That one missed. 1-1. Donovan is 0 for 2 so far today. Yet to strike out. There's a couple of baseballs on the ground. The 1-1 pitch from Richardson. Low and in. Pulled over to second base again. McLean makes the play. And that's out number 1 of the 6th. So they're trying to get through a few innings with the long reliever here. Lyon Richardson. He has a 2.18 ERA, 1.21 whip. Very good ground ball rate, low barrel rate. Does walk a decent number of hitters and doesn't strike out very many. So that's good news for the Cardinals. But he's been good this year. Here's the pitch to win. Ground ball. Ground ball rate coming in handy for the Reds. Easy play for Richardson on the mound. 2 outs. So Alec Burleson will step up to the plate now with 2 outs and nobody on. Richardson has 2 outs in just 4 pitches. Burleson is 1 for 2. Does have a 2-run bomb back in that first inning. That is the difference in the game right now. The Cardinals lead 2-1. First pitch to Burleson is in there at the bottom of the zone. Doesn't get the call. 1-0. Next pitch to Burleson is inside. 2-0 now on a changeup. Two-0 pitch from Richardson. Right down the middle. Grounded over to second base. McLean is there. And 3 ground balls from Richardson in just 7 pitches. He's through the 6th. Great inning from Richardson. 2-1 Cardinals. We go to the 7th. So Matz will definitely still be on the mound. We'll just leave Matt's numbers up because those are cooler. And it'll be affecting the inning more than the hitters individually will anyway. That is Fraley, McLean, and Friedel. So if we look at what Matz has done well, it's not walking anybody. Very low hard hit rate, high ground ball rate. Well, I guess low barrel rate. So it's the launch angle into the ground with a high ground ball rate and not walking anybody. Also striking out a good number. The problems for Matz have been the hard hit rate even into the ground. So you hit it really hard, with a bad launch angle, sometimes that still works. But it doesn't happen too often, so that's perfectly okay. Doesn't get a lot of chase, whiff, or strikeouts, so... I mean, he does somehow get strikeouts, but doesn't get whiff or chase, so I don't really understand how that happens. They must just take a strike. So that's strange. I mean, I guess he just has some nice deceptive pitches. Has been pitching for a long time, so it's not surprising. Here we go. Steven Matz, scheduled to face Jake Fraley. We'll see if there's a pinch hitter. Cardinals still holding on to a 2-1 lead in the top of the 7th. They're just showing all the cameras. It is a pinch hitter. Connor Joe coming into the game. 1-0 on him. Matt's at 16 pitches. The 1-0 pitch. Right down the middle with the sinker. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Joe. Swing and a miss on a changeup right down the middle. It's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch from Matz to Joe. Way upstairs, 2-2. Joe hitting just .211 on the year. .535 OPS. Yet to record a home run in 28 games. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Matz. Up and away with the sinker. It's 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. Right down the middle, fouled back. Great at bat from Joe. On deck is Matt McLain. You'd love to be able to get Joe and face him with nobody on. The 3-2 pitch. Popped up, out of play again. Great at bat from Connor Joe. Matt's at 22 pitches. He is a former starter, so you can expect him to continue to throw. But it's not always great to throw a lot of pitches in an inning. Misses low and in with the changeup, and that is ball 4. So Joe draws a walk after a fantastic at-bat. When you don't get a lot of whiff or chase, sometimes guys will earn a walk against you. Matz has been great at avoiding the walk so far this year. But Joe worked one there, and that's his second of the game for Steven Matz. Here's the first pitch to McLain. Check swing, strike, 0-1. That was a sinker outside. Good pitch from Matz. It worked itself away from the barrel. The 0-1. Right down the middle with the sinker, 0-2. So Matz quickly puts himself ahead of Matt McLain. In a big spot in the game here. McLain's already 2 for 2 with a run scored. Matt's working with the rosin bag. The 0-2 pitch to Matt McLain. Here it is. Matt's delivers. Pulled down the third base line. Fair and into the seats. A ground rule double is an extra base hit for McLain. Connor Joe would have scored if it wasn't a ground rule double, but McLain is 3 for 3, and the Reds have the go-ahead run on second and the tying run on third with nobody out in the 7th. This was just a hanging curveball low and in. McLain did a great job getting the hands in on it and keeping it fair down that third base line. The spin had it hop up into the seats, went off the hands of a Reds fan who was frustrated with himself in the seats. So we'll see if Matz can settle back in. And if the Cardinals can strand these runners, we'll see if the infield is in as well. I think Marmol told the infield to stay back on the right-hand side, which makes sense. First pitch missed up and away with the sinker. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch to Friedel. Right down the middle for a strike with the sinker. It's 1-1. So the Cardinals playing the infield a little bit in with Contreras at first. The 1-1. Popped up a bunt. Foul. 1-2 now on Friedel. So Matz with a chance to get a strikeout here, which would dramatically change the context of this inning. There are runners on second and third with nobody out right now. It's a 1-2 count on Friedel. The Reds are 39 and 37 on the year. The Cardinals 41 and 35. Friedel is 1 for 2 in the game. We'll see if Matz can get a strikeout here. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled the other way. Still 1-2. So the Cardinals have the right side of the infield a little further back with Donovan. And then over at third base, Arenado playing a little bit close. Here's the 1-2 to Friedel. Ground ball. Diving stop by Contreras. He looks the runner back to third, and that is out number 1. Great play by Contreras. The reaction time from being a catcher, making its uses known at first. A little bit of Oakland A's going on from the Cardinals here. Some money ball. Moving Contreras to first for this season. Makes a great play there. There's runners at second and third now with 1 out. And Gavin Lux at the plate. Another lefty-lefty matchup here. The first pitch from Matz. Perfectly placed on the outside part of the plate. Didn't get the call from Buckner. It's 1-0. As the game heats up, Buckner's mistakes get more intensified. Lux has been much worse against left-handed pitching. The 1-0 pitch, that one's in there for a strike, up and away, 1-1. Lux just 162 batting average against lefties, a 441 OPS. The 1-1 pitch from Matz to Lux. Outside with the sinker, 2-1. Steven Matz, the 2-1 pitch to Lux. In there, low and away with the sinker, it's 2-2. Great pitch from Matz there. A strikeout of Lux would be incredible for the Cardinals' chances at winning this one. Big pitch in the game here, the 2-2 from Matz to Lux. Ground ball, foul, still 2-2. I'd like to see the infield alignment, but I'm not sure they'll show it to me. Lux is 2 for 11 with a runner on third and fewer than 2 outs. 5 RBIs in this spot on 11 at-bats. Does have 4 strikeouts. The 2-2 pitch. Dropped the curveball in. Didn't get the call as Lux went to the ground. And it's 3-2. So Buckner might have missed that one as well, but he's been missing a lot. So that's not surprising. Here's a full count pitch from Matz to Lux with 1 out. Right down the middle, ground ball up the middle. Matz is going to get the ground out. Mason Wynn made the play, but the run does score as Connor Joe comes in from third. It's 2-2 in the 7th. So a good job by Matz. Anyway, he gets the out, and now it's going to be Ellie De La Cruz with a man on third and 2 outs in a huge moment in this one. Against left-handed pitching, he has not been great this year, just a 194 average. The first pitch, driven in the air to center field, high and deep, and it's gone. An absolute nuke from the right-handed side for Ellie De La Cruz. And it is 4-2 Reds in the 7th. Steven Matz does not make his pitch. Puts it right down the middle, and De La Cruz homers. So it's 4-2 Reds with 2 outs in the 7th. Sinker right down the middle. So the Cardinals have their work cut out for them now. It is a 4-2 ball game. Here comes Tyler Stevenson. And the Cardinals are going to go to Granillo. So Matz is done. Not his best outing. Andre Granillo. Here's what he's done so far. 0.6 whip, 0 ERA, 5 innings pitched. Pretty dang good. Not a lot of strikeouts so far. Or ground balls, but soft contact. No barrels yet. Low walk rate. And a low hard hit rate. So he's been pretty good on that front. All right. Wait, is it back or is this just... Yeah, it is back. Okay. So Andre Granillo in the game, 0.6 whip. He's been good. Hasn't allowed a homer yet, but just 5 innings pitched. So a lot to still learn about him. 2 outs, nobody on. Tyler Stevenson in the game. Oh. Granillo didn't get a win and the save in the same game. He got him in the same day. He pitched in 2 different games. Got the save in one game, got the win in the other. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball foul, 1-1. So that makes a lot more sense. I was so confused when I looked at the Fangraphs depth chart. The 1-1 pitch to Stevenson, fouled back, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch now from Granillo. Found the corner, but didn't get the call on a slider low and away. It's 2-2. That was a great pitch from Granillo, perfectly placed. Just can't get the call with this umpiring crew. 2 outs, nobody on. The 2-2 pitch to Stevenson. Outside with the slider, 3-2. The 3-2 pitch now to Stevenson. Inside, popped up. Right side, Contreras makes the... No, he drops it. Tried to squeeze that one, and it fell out of his glove in foul territory. Tough one to see, I guess. in the clouds, and his glove just could not contain it. So the count is full with 2 outs. Stevenson still at the plate. Here's the 3-2 to Stevenson. Swing and a miss on a fastball above the zone, so gives him a second chance, but Granillo gets the strikeout anyway. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 4-2 Reds. Contreras, Arenado, Gorman. Those sound like a few guys who can get on base. Especially Contreras recently. All right, Wilson Contreras stepping up to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. But he's been great for the Cardinals in recent games. We'll see if he can reach base here. Looks like Richardson is staying in the game. He had a good inning last inning. The long reliever for the Reds. First pitch to Contreras. Swing and a miss on a sinker at the bottom of the zone. 0-1. He has been good this year, a 2.08 ERA. But he's going to be facing some tough hitters this inning. The 0-1 pitch to Contreras. Inside 1-1. It is Contreras, Arenado, and Gorman due up first, followed by Nootbaar. Here's the 1-1 from Richardson. Caught the lower outside corner with the sinker, 1-2. Cardinals trying to get a base runner here, start a rally. They're down by 2 runs in the 7th. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Richardson. He takes an extra breath and delivers. Swing and a miss on a fastball at the top of the zone. Down goes Contreras, his second strikeout of the day. And that is Richardson's first strikeout of the day. Here comes Arenado. Arenado is 0 for 2. Yet to strike out in this one, a very low strikeout rate on the year, so at least he'll put it in play. Here's the first pitch from Richardson. Outside with the sinker, 1-0. Arenado's been starting to look more like himself recently. Playing some good baseball in the last couple of weeks. Looking for a pitch to hit here, the 1-0 from Richardson. In there with the changeup, 1-1. Arenado is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a line out in the game today. The 1-1 pitch from Richardson. Right down the middle with the sinker, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 now from Richardson. Way outside with the curveball, 2-2. Two pitch now to Arenado. Hanging curveball driven out to left, but the running grab is made in left field by Connor Joe. So 2 outs, nobody on for Nolan Gorman. Couple of ways Gorman could help out the Cardinals here. He could drive one out of the ballpark and cut the lead to 1. Or he could reach base for Lars Nootbaar and give him a chance to drive him in. Here's the first pitch from Richardson to Gorman. Perfectly placed fastball low and away. Gets the call. It's 0-1. So Buckner is giving that call to the Reds, but not the Cardinals. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Gorman. Outside 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Outside, fouled off. 1-2. That was a changeup. So Richardson threatening to go 2 innings with no base runners here. He's done very well out of the pen. This will be his 20th pitch of the ball game. It is 4-2 Reds in the 7th. Here is the 1-2 pitch. Upstairs to Gorman. It's 2-2. Gorman does have 4 home runs on the year, also walked in the game today. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a perfect changeup at the bottom of the zone. Down goes Gorman, the second strikeout for Richardson. We go to the 8th. Steer, Benson, and Espinal. It's 4-2 Reds. Granillo only threw against one guy. The Cardinals are losing now, so you got to stick with Granillo here. Let the rest of your guys rest. I think it's just pretty obvious. We already looked at Granillo's stats, so we'll just leave it here. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Game is back now. It'll be Spencer Steer, Will Benson, and Santiago Espinal as the umpires come back out of their hut that they are using to dodge the sun in this hot game. Has not been a great performance from the home plate umpire. I believe it is C.B. Buckner. But it's been bad for both sides, so you just got to put up with that. We'll see if Granillo can pitch a good inning here. It's 96 degrees in St. Louis. First pitch from Granillo to Steer. Right down the middle for a strike. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Outside with the slider, 1-1. So Granillo, he has yet to give up a run in his career. As a Cardinal, he made it up to the big leagues a couple of weeks ago. The 1-1. Popped up, that was a slider. And into the seats, 1-2. The 1-2 to Steer. Driven into right field. That's going to be a base hit into the gap. Steer is going to have extra bases. We'll see if he tries for 3. He is going to try for 3, and he's definitely going to get there. That is a triple for Spencer Steer to lead off the 8th. Reds are absolutely loving this inning. And I jinxed Granillo with that. Was a fastball outside. He smoked that one right off the barrel and into the gap. Nothing the Cardinals could do about that. Burleson took a while to find that one off the wall, and Steer easily slid into third with a triple. So here's the first pitch to Will Benson. In there with the slider, it's 0-1. Second pitch to Benson from Granillo. Drops the slider in there at the top of the zone. Doesn't get the call. It's 1-1. Another great pitch. Cardinals have the infield in here. The 1-1. Popped up. Deep left field here. Playable for Nootbaar. Scott's going to make the call. He's going to try to make a throw to the plate. But it's cut off, and the Reds score. So I don't know why Granillo even cut that one off, because he could have just kept the ball. I mean, he could have just let it go and, see if you get him, just in case. But whatever. It's 5-2 Reds. Nobody on, 1 out. And Granillo's ERA is now above 0. So that's unfortunate for him. So it's up at 159. That's still a really good ERA. First pitch is popped up. That one's going to be playable in third base for Nolan. Arenado makes the grab. 2 outs. That's going to bring up Santiago Espinal. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, 1-0. Sorry, Santiago Espinal's the guy who just popped out. My screen didn't update it. Is Connor Joe at the plate. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Missed low and away with the slider, 2-0. Pitch now from Granillo to Joe is in there at the bottom of the zone, 2-1. Granillo trying to at least get us to the 9th inning. Probably try to pitch through that as well, unless the Cardinals come back in the 8th. They trail 5-2. The 2-1 pitch. Upstairs, 3-1. On deck is Matt McLain, who is 3 for 3 in the game today. McLain does have a double as well. 3-1 pitch. Pulled to left field, but caught by Lars Nootbaar with a nice sliding play. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's going to be Nootbaar, Pajes, and Scott for the Cardinals, down 5-2. All right, so this is interesting, because Nootbaar's a good hitter. Pahes can get on base, hopefully. Scott can definitely get on base, one of those two. So then you'd have 2 men on for the top of the order, which would be, in this case, Brendan Donovan and Mason Wynn. So not a lot of power over these first 5 hitters, other than Nootbaar, which isn't super useful. So you kind of just have to work at bats. Or just go 1, 2, 3. I mean, even if it's 1, 2, 3, that could be okay for your chances, because then you have Donovan, Wynn getting on base, Burleson, Contreras, Arenado to drive them in, with Gorman there as well. But if you go Nootbaar and Scott get on base, let's say there's 2 men on for Donovan, you could just rally that way. Get 1 extra base hit for Donovan or Wynn, and you'd be right back in the game. So that's a couple of decent pathways for the Cardinals. Worst case scenario here is you get 2 men on and then the inning ends with like Mason Wynn. Like that would be the worst case. And from their perspective, it's going to be 3 lefties out of the first 4 hitters and Nootbaar, and Pahes, so they're not worried about Pahes as a righty. So they probably go to a lefty, and their lefty of choice is Santillan. I might have called him Santillan yesterday. Whatever. He's from Texas. Oh yeah, he's probably Mexican. So Tony Santillan. 0.96 whip, 2.62 ERA. Yeah. High walk rate. Low walk rate. Low strikeout rate, though. Like a good walk percentage. Also a low barrel rate. So what do you even do? You hit the ball hard against him and in the air. So, how does he not have a bad barrel rate? Whatever, just get hits. You got to just rally with a bunch of hits against this guy, it looks like. So that's what I would be looking to do here. Get a bunch of singles. That's perfect for the guys who are coming up for the Cardinals. First pitch to Nootbaar. Right down the middle, ground ball. Playable at first. Good play by the Reds. That one by Steer. 1 out, and that will bring up Pedro Pahes. So that's not ideal. Because Pahes is, he is a singles hitter. Probably isn't the matchup you want for Pahes with Victor Scott on deck. It'd be nice if they stick with Santillan, but they probably won't. He is their setup man in the 8th inning, and their closer is Pagan. So it'll change a little bit with Pagan. But hopefully the top of the order gets it done. If the bottom can't, here's the first pitch to Pahes. Up and in, that's a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Santillan to Pahes. Missed downstairs with the fastball, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Pahes. Inside 3-0, and he doesn't get the call. It's 2-1 instead. C.B. Buckner. Great umpiring. So it's 2-1 on Pahes instead of 3-0. With nobody on and 1 out in the 8th. The Cardinals trail 5-2. Buckner trying to get out of here as soon as possible. Seems to be the case. The 2-1. Popped up into center field. Playable in center. Catch is made by Friedel. 2 outs. So that will bring up Victor Scott the second. First pitch from Santillan to Victor Scott. He's going to get the call low and away. 0-1. The only good news about this is the Cardinals could have the top of their order in the 9th. Here's the 0-1 to Scott. Driven the other way. That's going to be a base hit for Victor Scott. See if he tries to go for 2. He's not going to. It's going to just be a single. So even that is not ideal. As now, I would try to steal because you want to have Brendan Donovan's on-base skills in front of the boppers in the 9th. And if he just gets a single here, you could have your worst possible outcome, which would be Wynn being the final out, because then you just have the power bats all in a row. It's not what you want in the 9th. Here is the pitch to Donovan. Up and away with the slider. It's 1-0. So you gotta, I mean, in my opinion, you really do need to steal with Victor Scott right now. The 1-0 pitch to Donovan is low, 2-0. So the reasoning is Donovan's unlikely to be a guy to put it in a gap here. He's a guy who always hits, well, not always, but he can find gaps, but odds are he's going to be an on-base guy, not a extra base guy. Here's the 2-0. Right down the middle. Driven up the middle for a base hit. So that's exactly the worst case scenario for the Cardinals. There's 2 men on. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. They did not steal with Scott, so Mason Wynn will be batting with 2 men on and 2 outs. He is the tying run. And this would be way different if Pages was able to get his walk, which he earned, but Buckner took away from him. So instead you have runners at the corners with 2 outs, and if Wynn goes down here, I really don't like the Cardinals' chances. If he can find a way on base, that would change everything, in my opinion. Let's see what Wynn can do. But it would be 5-3 if they had stolen with Scott. That's why I don't like this. The first pitch to Wynn is up and in, 1-0. So if you have just a 1-run deficit, then just a walk and a homer would get it done in the 9th, which is much different. But anyway, Cardinals did what they did. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch from Santillan to Wynn is up and in, 2-0. So Wynn ahead in the count here. Big opportunity with runners at the corners. Huge hole on the right side of the infield. Also a big hole in the left center gap. We'll see if Wynn puts a swing on one here. He is yet to hit a home run with runners in scoring position this season. Santillan is set. Here's the 2-0 to Mason Wynn. Missed downstairs. It's 3-0. So you got to find a really nice pitch to hit here. With Alec Burleson waiting on deck. It'd be great to have him step up in a situation like this. The 3-0 pitch from Santillan to Wynn. Right down the middle for a strike, 3-1. So all bets are off now. 2 outs, 3-1 count on Wynn. With runners at the corners. The Cardinals trail 5-2. Wynn represents the tying run in this one. The 3-1 pitch from Santillan to Wynn. Right down the middle with the fastball, it's 3-2. So this means that Donovan's going to get a head start off of first. A ball in the gap could score 2 here. Big swing from Wynn at this spot. The 3-2 pitch from Santillan. Low and in, queued up the middle for a base hit. Donovan's going to stop at second. It's a base hit. Scores a run for Mason Wynn, and it's 5-3. Good hit up the middle by Wynn. And here comes the go-ahead run. It's Alec Burleson. He already has a homer in this one. It was back in that first inning, an inside pitch from the lefty. He got the barrel around on it and sent it 387 feet into the bullpen. See if he can deliver again here against Tony Santillan or against a different reliever. Looks like it's just a scouting report here from the pitching coach. A ball in the gap. Could score 2 with Mason Wynn on first. Homer could give the Cardinals the lead. So it was a good matchup with all of those singles hitters against the singles pitcher. People should look at contact numbers before choosing their relievers, but the Cardinals benefit this time, so I won't complain. 2 men on with 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Alec Burleson. Top of the zone, fouled back, 0-1. Burleson just 1 for 3 today with the 2-run homer in the first. They're playing him to pole. Big hole in that right center field gap. So we'll see if he can smoke one out there. The 0-1 pitch from Santillan. He delivers. Fouled back again. It's 0-2. Burleson is hitting .302 against pitches that are 95 miles an hour or faster. Also likes them at the top of the zone. 2 outs, 2 on. The 0-2 pitch from Santillan to Burleson. Up and away, 1-2. So it is Wynn on first, Donovan on second. The Cardinals trail 5-3 in the 8th. With 2 outs. A huge moment here. 20th pitch of the inning for Santillan. Here is the 1-2 to Burleson. He delivers. Driven the other way, foul. Still 1-2. Santillan goes to the 4-seam with 2 strikes 61% of the time. Here's the 1-2 pitch now to Burleson. Fastball pulled. Base hit for Burleson. Donovan is going to come around to score, and it's 5-4. Mason Wynn went first to third, and there's runners at the corners with 2 outs for Contreras. That was an absolute rocket from Burleson. A fastball at the top of the zone, got the barrel to it, hit it where the defense wasn't. No chance for any defender on that one. An absolute rocket. As Donovan came in to score. And that's going to bring up Wilson Contreras in a 5-4 ball game. We'll see if Santillan stays in the game. He will not. So here comes another pitcher for the Reds. Let me see if it's their closer already. Is that what Emilio Pagan looks like? Yep. So it is. It's going to be Pagan. He's been great this year. 0.88 whip. Really high strikeout rate. Does walk a good number of hitters, but with runners at the corners, that's not likely to matter with 2 outs. Doesn't get a lot of ground balls, though, so that's good news for the Cardinals. Also gives up some hard hit baseballs. So the approach against him, definitely, it's going to be tough because you have a lot of chase, a lot of strikeout, and he walks a good amount, so you have to be careful. Take a good long at bat, make sure it's your pitch, and then you just got to try to line one into a gap. Try to hit a ball hard here. He does give up a lot of barrels, so it's just hit a ball hard. Take a great at bat, find the right pitch, try to get ahead in the count, and then find your pitch. It's kind of the traditional approach of hitting. But in this exact spot, that's all you can do. Can't really work for a walk unless you think that the man behind you can do it as well, which would be Arenado, which he could do. I think Arenado much more likely to draw a walk than Contreras. But the combined likelihood is very, very unlikely on back-to-back plate appearances, so that's why I think you just gotta work a good at-bat, try to find your pitch. Here we go. Pagan versus Contreras. Here's the first pitch to Contreras. Up and away, gets the call. C.B. Buckner. Playing favorites in this one. It's 0-1 on Contreras. So 2 outs, runners at the corners. That's a big change in the at-bat. Here's the 0-1 to Contreras. They go low and away with the fastball, 1-1. Missed way out of the zone. Pagan trying to take advantage of the strike zone. There's a big, big hole on the right side of the infield. Contreras has been great with runners in scoring position, hitting .325 in these spots. The 1-1 pitch. Popped up foul, it's 1-2. Cardinals trail this one 5-4 with 2 outs in the 8th. Runners at the corners. It is Donovan on third, Burleson on first. The 1-2 pitch from Pagan to Contreras. Inside out swing, popped foul, still 1-2. Contreras is 0 for 3 today, does have a couple of strikeouts, but he's been great recently. Decent matchup against a guy like Pagan, but Buckner has not helped him out in this at-bat. So hopefully he can see the ball well and only swing at pitches in the zone here. The 1-2 from Pagan. Swing and a miss on a fastball up and away. Down goes Contreras. And it is 5-4 after 8. So we'll probably see Granillo come back in. C.B. Buckner is just on some very annoying stuff. So Marmol kind of getting punished for his arguments with Buckner in the past, because he's still an umpire, and he's still hurting the Cardinals every time we play with him behind the plate. He called a fair game at the start, but now he seems to just be trying to go home. Disregard for the strike zone in every way. And now the Cardinals trail 5-4 heading into the 9th. So we'll see if Granillo can get McLean, Friedel, and Lux. Here we go. Granillo missed low, even though it was in the strike zone. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Up and away with the slider, 2-0. Two-0 pitch from Granillo to McLean. Is going to get the call above the zone, 2-1. Buckner it's just a magic zone. He's just going to move it wherever he wants. The 2-1 pitch from Granillo to McLean. Check swing, foul ball, 2-2. McLean is 3 for 3 today, has a couple of doubles. Also has a base hit. Couple of runs scored. The 2-2 popped up. It's going to be his first out of the game, assuming Donovan makes the play. And he will for out number 1. So Granillo gets McLean, and that's going to bring up TJ Friedel, who is 1 for 3 today. Does have a strikeout in the game. So 1 out with TJ Friedel stepping up to the plate. Pajes is going to talk to Granillo. If we look ahead to the Cardinal ninth, it is going to be Arenado, Gorman, and Nootbaar due up. So a chance with those 3 hitters to come back in this one. Each of them has the opportunity to hit a home run potentially. But you got to work your at-bats against Pagan. Find your pitch. Arenado's a guy you'd love to see up in this spot. Gorman's a guy you love to see up in this spot. Nootbaar, if either of them gets on base, is a guy you'd love to see. So, no problem with that. It looks like Granillo's going to be done, as John King will come in the game to face Friedel and Lux, and De La Cruz potentially. So good outing from Granillo. He did give up a run today, but he's been good this year. Nobody on, 1 out in the 9th. All right, I'll be right back. Alrighty. John King in there, throws the first pitch, sinker low and away for a strike on Friedel. It's 0-1. King has a 4.85 ERA this year. The 0-1 pitch is a ground ball over to first. Contreras is there for out number 2. And that'll bring up Gavin Lux. Lux is 0 for 3 today. Did have a walk and an RBI in the game. The RBI was a ground out to... Actually, no. He had an RBI ground out and a double play that drove in a run. Both of those. So could have had 2 RBIs if he legged out that double play, but instead he grounds this one out to Contreras. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It is 5-4 Reds. Arenado, Gorman, and Nootbaar due up in the bottom half. Chance to come back. So here we go. Arenado's been average as a hitter this year. Not as good as usual in the field either. But one thing he has not done is strike out. So work along at bat, find your pitch, crush it against Pagan. Or pass the torch if he can draw a walk, which he hasn't done too much, but he just hasn't struck out. So maybe just find a good part of the ballpark, pick up a base hit. No matter how it is, just get on base. Or hit a homer. And then pass it to Gorman and Nootbaar. Those 3 guys, I trust them all. And we also have pinch hitters, I believe. Who's not playing? Obviously, Herrera is injured. And with Burleson, Gorman, Nootbaar all in the lineup. I'm not sure we have a left-handed pinch hitter, but Sajasi, I believe, was at the big league level. So you could hit him for Pajes as well. So if a couple guys get on, Sajasi might be available. Gorman's a guy who can always homer. So hopefully something works out. Let's see who is available. Jordan Walker or Thomas Sajasi. So that's going to be interesting. Let's see. If you need a homer, they might go to... Well, you don't ever really need a homer. I am curious what the Cardinals decide to do here. I'll be right back. First pitch missed to Arenado. It's 1-0. Here's the second pitch from Pagan to Arenado. Driven high in the air to left field. Did he get it? Yes, he did. It's a solo bomb for Arenado. 5-5 in the 9th. A game-tying solo home run, his 10th of the year. And Arenado delivers. 100 miles an hour off the bat. And we'll see if the Cardinals can win it now, with Gorman and Nootbaar due up next. It was a hanging slider. He got his pitch and did not miss it. Reached out, put the barrel on the ball, and the veteran third baseman delivers for the Redbirds once again. First pitch to Gorman. He's upstairs for a strike at 95, 0-1. So this one is not over, but if Gorman can reach, it is in great hands. The 0-1 pitch to Gorman is outside 1-1. Gorman does have a career walk-off homer. It was in April of 2024 against the Diamondbacks. Looking for a fastball from Pagan if we're looking for one here. The 1-1 pitch from Pagan. Fastball outside, 2-1. Gorman is 0 for 2 with a walk today. He's ahead in the count, 2-1 here in the bottom of the 9th of a 5-5 game. The 2-1 pitch to Gorman. Up and in, pulled foul. It's 2-2. Gorman a huge home run threat, but you got to be careful against a guy like Pagan. Gorman calls time, steps out of the box, and digs back in now. So here we go. 2-2 pitch with nobody on, nobody out. 5-5 ball game to Gorman. Outside 3-2. Lars Nootbaar is waiting on deck. Huge potential for the Redbirds in this 9th inning. The 3-2 pitch from Pagan to Gorman. Low and in, he gets the strikeout on a splitter, 1 down in the 9th. I'll be right back. Nootbaar's stepping up to the plate. All right, so the first pitch found the zone. It's 0-1 on Nootbaar. 1 out in this 9th inning. Here is the second pitch from Pagan to Nootbaar, the 0-1. Swing and a miss. A great splitter outside. It's 0-2. It's going to be really interesting to see what Marmal decides to do if someone reaches base here. Here's the 0-2. Splitter outside, did not go. It's 1-2. Splitter is his 22% pitch with 2 strikes. He usually just goes to the fastball at 59%. Here's the 1-2 to Nootbaar. Swing and a miss on a splitter once again. He's finding the splitter in this game and using it a ton. 2 outs, nobody on. It's going to bring up Pedro Pages. So in this case, you'd probably just stick with Pages, and that's what the Cardinals are going to do. Pages does have 5 home runs on the year. First pitch from Pagan. Right down the middle, fouled back, 0-1. Pages is 0-2 with a walk back in the 5th. If he can reach base, that would mean a lot for the Cardinals, if only to get Victor Scott on second as the extra runner next inning. So we'll see if Pages can deliver for his team here. 2 outs, nobody on. The 0-1 pitch from Pagan. He is upstairs 1-1. The other thing Pages could do is make Pagan throw a lot of pitches. Make sure he doesn't come out for a 3rd inning, as he's already blown the save today. The 1-1 pitch from Pagan to Pages. Right down the middle, driven the other way. It is going to be foul. 1-2. So the Cardinals doing what they've done all year, showing their fight. The 1-2 pitch from Pagan. Check swing. No, he did not. It's 2-2 on Pages. So it's 5-5, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, 2-2 count. And Buckner will not get his wish. It's likely to go into extras. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a splitter at the bottom of the zone. We go to extra innings. In St. Louis, Nolan Arenado delivered with a solo game-tying homer in the 9th on a hanging slider. We go to the 10th. 5-5. in St. Louis. Did I not switch it back to the game? Well, whatever. There's Arenado's picture. My bad. Well, that's rough. Called the whole inning like that. Guess it happens. Ellie De La Cruz, Tyler Stevenson, and Spencer Steer. That's not ideal. I'm going to go to De La Cruz's stats. He already has a homer today. So the Cardinal pen options are a little bit strange. You have Helsley. You have Leahy. I mean Leahy, right? Never mind, it's not that hard. Yeah, it's Kyle Leahy. Leahy's inning right here for sure. Unless you want to go to Helsley. It's going to be Ellie De La Cruz, so I guess it doesn't matter which righty you want to go with in that spot. John King's already pitched. Maybe you go King to face Ellie. And then you go to Leahy. Right, so you stick with John King. Have him face the lefty, or I guess the switch hitter De La Cruz, who's worse on the right-hand side. And then you go righty-righty with Leahy against Stevenson, Steer, and Benson. Which I guess is not righty-righty against Benson, but he could probably get Benson. I like that. I think that's what you do here. I think you go with King for just a one-hitter. Let's see what the Cardinals decide. They're going to go to Helsley, so just going for strikeouts here. That's all right. He could get these strikeouts. With Helsley, it's kind of a wild card. You don't know what he's going to do against anybody, really. It's just, he throws really hard. They're going to go with Hampson as their automatic runner, so that's going to be a new player for the Reds. So he's going to replace Gavin Lux as the DH, so he's just going to be a DH runner. That is fine. Doesn't really matter. Here's the pitch from Helsley to Ellie De La Cruz. Swing and a miss on a slider low and in. It's 0-1. You do really like seeing Helsley against De La Cruz with that slider. Can't throw it every single time, but De La Cruz is very likely to chase that a lot of the time. And then you can go fastball above the zone. The 0-1. Fastball just missed inside, 1-1. Goes down and pops this one up. Playable in left center. Scott makes the catch for out number 1. Sampson thought about going, but stayed at second base. So 1 out. They were unable to move the runner over. That's going to bring up Tyler Stevenson. You love to see that as a Cardinal fan, but obviously with Helsley, it's almost just a base hit or an out. It's usually never going to be like a bunt or anything like that anyway. So you just got to get Stevenson and Steer here. The first pitch from Helsley to Tyler Stevenson. He's in the dirt with the curveball, 1-0. It makes sense to go to Helsley. I like it. I see where Marmol was coming from. Stevenson's a guy who simply strikes out too much. It's the number one thing that's hurting his numbers this year. So when you have Helsley available to pitch against him, of course, you're going to choose Helsley. The 1-0 pitch from Helsley. Check swing, yes he did. 1-1. Helsley's ready once again. The 1-1 pitch to Stevenson. He is in the dirt with the 4-seam, 2-1. Cardinals are playing Stevenson to pull. It's going to be tough to field a ball off of this bat with this arm anyway. The 2-1. Doesn't get the call at the bottom of the zone. It's 3-1. Helsley has had a problem with walking guys this year. CB Buckner probably not going to help him out too much with that. The 3-1 pitch to Tyler Stevenson. Fouled back at the top of the zone, 3-2. On deck is Spencer Steer, the Reds' first baseman. He's had a great game today. He's 2 for 4, also made a couple great plays at first. The 3-2 pitch from Helsley. He's going to check on Hampson at second instead. All right. 3-2 pitch from Helsley to Stevenson. Ground ball, foul, still 3-2. As it turns out, Stevenson is 4 for 6 against Helsley in his career. So I take back the idea of going to Helsley. I think that was probably not ideal against Stevenson, given the history. Individual matchups, when it's that favored, is usually a bad sign, but Helsley still gets a lot of strikeouts. We'll see if he can get one here. 3-2 pitch to Stevenson. Swing and a miss on a slider outside. Down goes Stevenson. 2 outs with a man on second, and it's going to be Spencer Steer for the Reds. Great pitch from Helsley. Slider outside after a lot of fastballs. You get the swing and the miss. So Stevenson is 0 for 5 today with 3 strikeouts, and it's going to bring up Spencer Steer. First pitch from Helsley to Steer is in the dirt with the slider, 1-0. Steer does have a single and a triple in the game today. But he's 0 for 3 career against Helsley. The 1-0 pitch. Driven foul, 1-1. Cardinals playing Steer to pull as well. Helsley wants a new baseball. So 2 outs, 1-1 count on Steer in the top of the 10th. Automatic runner still on second base. Trying to give his team a great chance to win this one. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Helsley to Steer. Way up and away, and the ball gets away from Pajes. So the automatic runner will advance to third in Hampson. Makes it a little bit more stressful. Steer has struck out 2 out of 3 times against Helsley in his career. He is 7 for 30 with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position this year. Does have a homer in these spots. Helsley is ready. The 2-1 pitch to Steer. Driven in the air to center field. Playable for Burleson, who makes the call as that one tailed out to the right. He made the grab. We go to the bottom of the 10th. It's 5-5 as Scott Donovan and Wynn are due up. Sorry, Nootbaar was the leadoff hitter all year. Alrighty. So you could just bunt the man over. Pagan probably done. All right, so let's check out the Reds bullpen. So Scott and Donovan are lefties. The righty would be Wynn. Who do they have available? I don't think they planned for this. There's no one really available. So you either stick with Pagan or you go to Rogers. Maybe Barlow because he had the fewest pitches yesterday. No matter who it is, you need Scott to just try to pull the ball. Just pull the ball. Get Pajes or the pinch runner over to third base. You know, if Pozo's faster than Pajes, maybe you go to him. But you just try to pull the ball. Or I guess you could just go to a pinch runner like Barrero. Pull the ball, get Barrero to third, and then hit a fly ball. The fly ball would have to come from Donovan. He could do it. Or hit a base hit. Good launch angle. Donovan can do that. So this is really interesting. So they are going to go to Barlow. So yeah, the lowest amount of pitches the day before. They're just playing the long game here, which makes sense. Just trying to keep their bullpen healthy. It's a good season approach by the Reds manager, which is now Francona. Doesn't allow a lot of barrels. He's a really good pitcher, but he does walk a lot of hitters. So, I mean, that's great for extra innings. A lot of soft contact. Keeps it on the ground. Yeah, that's exactly what you don't want to see if you're the Cardinals. So a good decision. It's really an easy decision for the Reds. They do bring in Barrero at second base. So it makes sense. Everything makes sense from the managers. If you're Victor Scott here, you do want that ground ball. So, I mean, you can pretty much just play the game of... Okay, hold on. There's issues with his pitch comp. But yeah, you can play the game of just hit the ground ball that they're going to give you. They're going to bring the infield in. You can just hit the ball to second base where the infield is further back. Just roll over the pitch, just like they usually would want you to do. Get Barrero to third. It's that simple. First pitch, outside 1-0. So the infield is in right now, as Victor Scott is squaring around, trying to bunt. I would be okay with Scott swinging the bat here and just trying to roll over one. But it's okay either way. The 1-0 pitch. He does get the bunt on the ground. They are going to have to go to first. Great bunt by Scott. He's actually safe. So that changes this game dramatically. A bunt base hit for Victor Scott. The speed comes in handy. And there's runners at the corners with nobody out. Game-winning run on third base. Incredible job by Victor Scott. Finally, the Cardinals get a bunt on the ground. With the speed of Victor Scott, he is super hyped as he is safe at first. And the game is in the hands of Brendan Donovan. The infield's going to come in. They're going to intentionally walk Donovan, try to get the force out at the plate. Makes a lot of sense. Obviously, Donovan's fantastic at bat control. Definitely don't want to face him in that spot, so that's fair enough. So runners at every base. Bases loaded, nobody out in the 10th. A walk would win the game. And they have Barlow in the game as a very high walk rate. So that changes everything. Now you either try to hit one hard, or get one in the air, or walk. You can do anything, just don't put it on the ground. So a walk would be huge. Let's see if Wynn can have a good at-bat. First pitch. Swing and a miss. It was a slider right down the middle. It's 0-1 on Wynn. Wynn has never had a walk-off in his career. Huge chance here with the infield in and nobody out with the bases loaded. The 0-1 pitch. Reaches out and fouls that one off. It's 0-2. That was a slider outside. Wynn is hitting .304 in his career with the bases loaded. It's a really nice average. The 0-2 from Barlow to Wynn in a 5-5 game. Ground ball. Off the glove. They do go to the plate and get the force out. Barrero out at the plate for out number 1. Great play by Espinal after a bobble. Able to get the force out at home. So it's going to go to Alec Burleson. So this is where it gets a little scary. For Burleson here, you got to take a good at-bat. Try to draw a walk. Don't overthink it. Very close play at the plate there, but good job by Espinal. They're playing Burleson to pull. All he has to do is get the ball in the air. Or draw a walk. First pitch to Burleson. Top of the zone, pulled. Great play by Steer. He'll go to the plate, and they get the out. So the Reds are 1 out away from getting out of this. A couple great plays at the corners of the infield, 2 hard-hit grounders, but both of the plays made by the Reds, so the last hope to end at this inning is Wilson Contreras. Contreras, the only Cardinal today who has not reached base yet. And a base hit or a walk would win the game, so Contreras definitely should take a long at-bat. Here, tried to take a very careful approach. The first pitch, down the middle, fouled off. It's 0-1. So that changes it a little bit. The approach, just got to get a base hit now. You're already down in the count, 0-1. Obviously, if he's going to throw balls, take them, it's baseball. But let's find a pitch to hit it. The 0-1 pitch to Wilson Contreras. Down the middle, grounded foul. It's 0-2. Contreras does have 3 career walk-off hits. He is 0 for 2 in his career against Barlow. So it's 0-2 with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the 10th. We'll see if Contreras can stay alive here and make Barlow work. The 0-2 pitch to Contreras. Swing and a miss. A curveball gets Contreras. And we go to the 11th. A great job by Barlow with the bases loaded. You wish Donovan would have gotten that bat there. Instead, Cardinals have to pitch in the 11th. Unbelievable. So that changes everything. So, okay, Helsley already went. What's his pitch count? I don't think Helsley should go again. He went 14 pitches. He's not supposed to be a multi-inning pitcher. You have Kyle Leahy. That's his usual role. It's also not the part of the order that Leahy would struggle the most with. You have Espinal and Joe righties due up with just Will Benson as a lefty. So I would go to Leahy right now. And that's what I expect the Cardinals to do. So I'm going to go pull up the Leahy numbers. It's going to be Leahy with the catcher being Pozo behind the plate. Leahy's still been pretty good this year, but extra innings, you want a guy who can get a strikeout when you're the home team. Let's see. What does he have in his favor? He does have a very nice ground ball rate and soft contact, so if that contact goes to the left side of the infield, that can usually hold the runner at second base. And also, if you get that contact, it's unlikely that they just hit 2 groundouts and score the run, although sometimes that works out like that. It's going to be Maton. Okay, I don't necessarily agree with that, but how's the strikeout rate? Much, much higher. So that's why. Maton is, a great pitcher, but he did pitch yesterday, so that's why I didn't expect it. Pozo with Maton here. Will Benson at the plate. Here we go. First pitch of the 11th inning is outside with the cutter, 1-0. Maton trying to pitch in back-to-back days now. Benson has 2 walks and a sac fly in the game today, so you're just hoping to keep it on the ground this time, the 1-0. Outside is going to get away from Pozo, and the runner's going to advance to third. It's exactly what you can't have right there. So Spencer Steer is on third base with nobody out in the 11th. Two-0 count on Benson. If you're Maton, you just got to get the out. Cardinals infield a little bit in. The 2-0 pitch. Doesn't get the call from Buckner. It was in there on the outside part of the plate. 3-0. 3-0 pitch now to Benson. Right down the middle, fouled off his foot, 3-1. Three-one pitch from Maton to Benson. In there for strike 2, it's 3-2. See if Maton can get the strikeout here. That would be very nice for our chances. Benson is 3 for 4. With a runner on third and less than 2 outs, here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on the cutter outside. Down goes Benson. So 1 out with a man on third. It's as if he grounded out to first. It's going to bring up Santiago Espinal. So the Cardinals bring the infield in now. Espinal pulls the ball a lot. Here is the pitch from Maton. Right down the middle with the curveball, 0-1. Espinal is a career 3 for 5 against Maton. Has yet to strike out against him. Let's see if Maton can turn the tables. The 0-1 pitch to Santiago Espinal. Pulled. Just foul. 0-2. Thank goodness that ball is foul. Let's see if Maton can get a swing and a miss here. Strikeout would be huge, so would any type of infield ground ball. But you'd prefer the strikeout. The 0-2 from Maton. Goes upstairs, doesn't get the chase, it's 1-2. Changed the eye level of Espinal that time. Now you might see some sort of breaking or off-speed pitch. Let's see what Maton has in store. The 1-2. Check swing, yes he did. A strikeout of Espinal. And there's just a runner on third with 2 outs now in the 11th for Connor Joe. Huge strikeout for Phil Maton. That one was above the zone. Looked like it was going to break back into it. But Espinal went around, and it's going to be Connor Joe with the game on the line here. First pitch from Maton. He's upstairs with the cutter, 1-0. Joe did walk back in the 7th inning. He has scored a run today. Cardinals are playing him to pull. Plenty of space on the base paths if you want to be careful, but he's a guy you want to pitch to. The 1-0 from Maton. In there with the sweeper, 1-1. Great pitch from Maton. Joe is 1 for 7 this year with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. The 1-1 pitch from Maton. Swing and a miss on a curveball at the bottom of the zone, 1-2. Maton is 1 strike away from getting out of the 11th. It's about to be the 14th pitch of his inning. 2 outs, runner on third, the 1-2 pitch to Connor Joe. Low and away, didn't get the chase, it's 2-2. See what he has for us here, the 2-2. Outside with the curveball, 3-2. So trying to get Joe to chase, he will not. Now you got to go to probably a fastball. 2 outs. Steer on third. The 3-2 pitch to Connor Joe in the 11th. Outside ball 4. Missed with the curveball. There's now runners at the corners with 2 outs for Matt McLean. McLean's been good this year. Well, not this year, but good this game. McLean is 3 for 4 today. Has a triple. Sorry, doesn't have a triple. He has 2 doubles and a base hit. A couple of guys do have a triple. But McLean is not one of those. Here's the pitch from Maton to McLean. Popped foul, 0-1. Maton up at 17 pitches now. This will probably be his only inning of work, but it could be the only one you need. He's been great this year. 2 outs now with McLean at the plate. The 0-1. Up and in, 1-1. That'll get McLean's eyes moving. He had to get out of the way of that one a little bit. Cardinals are playing McLean to pull. 1-1 pitch from Maton. Fouled back, 1-2. Great pitch that time. He was the cutter up and away. Maton trying to strand 2 and keep this game tied in the 11th. 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch to McLean. Fouled off. Still 1-2. Good at bat by McLean, but he has been below average with 2 strikes this year. 46.3% strikeout rate in 2 strike counts. And just a 130 average with 2 strikes. Maton's 21st pitch of the 11th. The 1-2 pitch to Matt McLean. Just missed it low and away. Connor Joe swipes second, and now it's a huge at-bat, 2-2. Smart move by Pozo there to just hold the ball. Didn't want to risk anything. He already had the base stolen. The 2-2. Popped foul, and it's still 2-2. A great at-bat by McLean so far. Staying alive. He's had a good game. But Maton's having a good inning. Let's see if he can keep it going. 2 men on, 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a curveball right down the middle. Down goes McLean. And we go to the bottom of the 11th. It's still 5-5. Arenado, Gorman, Nootbaar due up for the Cardinals. So Arenado already delivered his last time up. And now he'll try to deliver with the game on the line. Reds bullpen. So it's righty, lefty, lefty. In last inning, it was Barlow, which is a righty. So they probably stick with Barlow against Arenado at least. How many pitches did he throw, though? We look at Barlow, he threw... Jeez. Where do they even have this? Oh, there we go. Okay. So 9 pitches. Okay, he's going to be in the game. We don't have to guess. It's going to be Scott Barlow. It's going to be Nolan Arenado. Here's Arenado's numbers. We've looked at those all year. Very low strikeout rate. We looked at Barlow's before last inning. I think Arenado's a good matchup with Barlow. To work a long count and just hit a base hit in a gap. That's what I would look for here. Just find a good spot to put the ball. They're going to go to Chase Petty instead. He has a 21.94 ERA. Did he pitch yesterday? I didn't know he was on the roster. So, oh, he's a starting pitcher. So that's strange. Chase Petty. Let's just go to the game. Arenado hit a homer his last time up to tie the game in the 9th. Huge opportunity here. On first pitch is inside. It is Jordan Walker running at second base. He'll come in the game for Contreras, I guess. They'll move Burles into first. As a fastball finds the middle of the zone, it's 1-1 on Arenado. So Contreras is done. Walker's going to be in right field if we go to the 12th. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Arenado. Up and in, it's going to hit him. So Petty misses up and in, hits Arenado, and that will put him on for Nolan Gorman. I do want to look at Petty's numbers real fast. See how you should approach him. Clearly he's not... Yeah, he has a very, very high walk rate. A 21 ERA. The only thing he has is fastball velo and whiff. We don't know much else. So first pitch to Gorman is up and away at 96. Way out of the zone, 1-0. So a very young starter. One of the prospects for the Reds trying to eat an inning for them here. The 1-0 pitch to Gorman with 2 men on. Top of the zone, popped up. It's going to be in foul ground. It's going to be an infield fly, actually. It's going to stay fair. 1 out. Gorman is down. That's going to bring up Lars Nootbaar. So, defense playing Nootbaar to pull. They did not advance the runner, so Nootbaar is going to need a hit to win this one. First pitch. In there for a strike at 94. It's 0-1. It's going to be Nootbaar, then Pozo here. The 0-1 pitch. Popped up. Nice changeup from Petty. Over to the third base side again. And another infield fly. That ball's caught at third. 2 outs. And that will bring up Joel Pozo. So, the Cardinals unable to advance the runner. And the pop-up wouldn't have scored him anyway. So... Walker on second. A base hit would win it. Pozo puts the ball in play a lot. He's a good guy to have at the plate right now. Righty-righty matchup. Big hole on that right side of the infield. Let's see if Pozo can deliver. First pitch from Petty. Up and in. That's a ball. 1-0. Pozo sees the ball really well. Doesn't walk a lot. But he also doesn't strike out a lot. So that's what helps him produce at the big league level. Has a 741 OPS. Threat to get a base hit at any moment. The 1-0 pitch from Petty. Popped foul. 1-1. But he got closer to hitting that pitch than the other guys. Good swing from Pozo there. Base hit would probably win it for the Cardinals here. The 1-1 pitch from Petty to Pozo. Reaches out and pokes it out to right field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Walker comes running around third. The throw is late. Walker scores. Pozo with a walk-off single. And the Cardinals win 6-5. What a moment for Joel Pozo, getting drenched with water bottles. And the Cardinals win it in 11. They dumped the entire Gatorade on him. Oh my goodness. What a moment for the team. Pozo's shirt ripped off. Barrero giving him a hug. That's why you wear an undershirt as a catcher. Incredible moment. So the Cardinals win it today 6-5. Great comeback win. They scored 2 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th, and 1 in the 11th. To steal one from the Reds, despite the efforts of C.B. Buckner to take it from us. Incredible game for the Cardinals. And an incredible day so far. Great base running by Walker as well. Good hustle, rounded third. The throw barely late. And the Cardinals won it. So, I hope you guys have as great a night as the Cardinals just had a ball game. And watch some interviews of this one, because that was awesome.